PSAK. Well, hey YouTube, it's Elvis Ammo here. Hey, today I've got a review, just a quick review to do. During this review, I'm going to show you a few things that might be very interesting to you about the Palmetto State Armory AK47, or what they call the PSAK, or PSAK. They're PSAK. Now that was some fancy shooting, and I mean, you've seen this thing shoot. I've run, I just got this thing together and got it going, and I only have maybe 250 rounds through it, and that's it. So I'm going to speak from that point of view, only firing that many shots or so. So let's take a look at this thing. This is the PSAK, the Palmetto State Armory. That's their AK-47, 100% made right here in the United States of America. Until I put this Korean magazine in here, everything was made in the United States. So anyway, let's take a look at it. I bought this in a kit. I'm gonna let you see the tag on that thing. I'll let you take a look at that tag right there. PSA AK47 Mo rifle build kit with the ALG AKT UL fire control group. Alright, so I spent a little extra, to get that. You can buy, if you buy these in a kit, I want you to be well informed. Alright, there's everything. If you decide to buy one of these, by all means, buy the whole rifle, but I'm just going to give you a real honest opinion, on buying the kit, versus buying the rifle. You can save yourself, $100 to $150 by buying it in the kit, because everything that comes in the kit is pretty much all of the things that you need to know how to put together and take apart anyway, just to have, some familiarity with your rifle. Okay, I'll put it that way. There's nothing more than really just a quick put together. So that's it right there. My first impression with it, as an AR guy, it takes a little getting used to, to be honest with you. But after a little while playing with these things, you can become hooked fairly quickly. And I'm gonna tell you what I got on here. I'm just giving you a look. Somebody said, "Ew, what is that?" This safety lever. Look at that safety lever. I know I had to powder coat something, guys. All right, sorry. I got a little carried away, but it's just a safety lever. You can buy them for about 20 bucks, or you can repaint them. So I had to powder coat something. So this is the configuration that I have. I splurged and I bought a. I'm just going to do a quick breakdown real quick and let you take a look. For me, I splurged and got this Midwest Industries mount, and you can see that I have my my Holosun red dot on here. Already had this, so that was really nice. And I zeroed this, and I also zeroed my irons. And if I need to go to my irons, it's as simple as taking this right off and back on irons. And I did put a cheek riser here, about $9 for a cheek riser. If you can't get down far enough, if it bothers you, you can totally just snap it right off. It just snaps right into the groove. That's made by Magpul, and there it is. It's back on again, just that quick. And if that's not enough for you, then you can take with this Mo stock. It actually comes with a little storage area right here, so you can put a cleaning kit inside here. You know, if you wanted to put a bore snake and a little tube of oil in here, you could do that. And this goes on and off just really quick, just like that. Snaps right in and out with a little lever button right here that you pull. That little button right there. And you also have, with this Mo furniture, you have your hollow handle here, so you could put some, you know, if you need a battery or whatever you want in there, right? Some potato chips. So there's that. And you know, whenever I zeroed this thing in, honestly, I didn't turn nothing. Okay, this post right here is perfectly straight, and it's also perfectly centered. The post is, you know, people talk about these being off center or canted. I am familiar with two of these rifles, by the way, which are not exactly the same, and even though they are exactly the same, these are not ARs with mil-spec parts. These are rifles that have serial numbers that match each part that goes together. Take the dust cover off. It has a serial number on it that matches the serial number on your bolt and your bolt and your bolt carrier and piston. These are all serial numbered to match. Okay, and there's that. That's a complete breakdown, guys. If you're not familiar with the AK, I am impressed with how fast I can clean this thing. I never had no problem cleaning an AR, to be honest with you. I can do that real fast with my eyes closed right now. But just saying that, you know, the rumors are true that the AK is actually easier to clean, not as many cracks and crevices. Now, as you've seen on the box, it says on there that I have the ALG AKT UL. Now, that was the newest trigger from ALG that was shown in the SHOT Show in 2017, and for, I think it was like, I paid $219 for the build kit, $399 for the rifle. I didn't opt for the blemished model, which I have no idea why I didn't. For some reason or another, I thought I wouldn't opt for that one, so I paid a little bit more money, you know. But I paid $4 for this, $3.99, and this was the full-on non-blim, you know, supposed to be perfect thing, right? And the build kit, $219, because it comes with that special trigger. All right, so $620. So I already saved, you know, $80 right there just by buying the kit, and I got the special trigger. Alright, so now I'm going to do a separate review on this trigger, because there's some things about this thing that people probably want to know. There is some special instructions here and that kind of thing. But I will show you a little bit about it. Now, you can see the wear on this bolt and carrier and piston. I'm going to let you see it all on here, and you can determine for yourself what is what. Alright, so I'll give you a better look than that. Alright, there's the bolt. I'm just going to give you a good look at it. That way you can actually see any kind of wear. This is about 250 rounds or so. Could be a couple more than that. Alright, and this is serial numbered, by the way, and so is the carrier. Just so you know. There's the carrier, and I'll give you a look at this piston. People talk about rubbing and different things. I just want you to see it all. I can tell you this much, you know, from the first shot fired, you know, I did not have any malfunction or even anything close to a malfunction. I'll give you that much. So, you know, I wasn't sure what to expect, to be honest with you. With this trigger, it has a little bit more spring in there, and you know, you have to push it down where maybe another one just kind of sits there and will slide down. You know, just a little bit of spring there, push down, right back in, and recoil spring. It's your famous old clothes hanger type, right into the rear trunnion right there, and you can see there's no wear on that. Right there, like that. And even the dust cover is serial numbered. Yep. Like that. Action is very smooth. Like that. Nice strong action. And then you know, I opted for this for this Midwest Industries mount right here that goes right on the side. That every one of your PSA has this mount. Most of your AKs do these days. But it just sets right on there like that, locks down, and holds 0. I've had that. I took that off probably a few times while I was shooting. At 100 yards, I still had the same 0. So, big Midwest Industries fan, and I opted for this style of mount so that, you know, in testing ammo and different things, if I want to put another scope on it, maybe with some canted rings, I can mount on this same Picatinny rail. All right. So that's why I opted for this type, and the red dot is in a perfect position for me. To sight this in, to zero this, I'll be honest with you, I did not turn this post, not one time. Now what I did do is I moved my iron sight, front sight, all the way back, and then locked it in, and that's where I got my my 0 at. All right. So on another rifle that I'm familiar with, the PSAK, I think this was turned like 1 revolution or 2 revolutions. That's it. Okay. No side to side. Windage was perfect. Obviously, you know, it could be a pain in the butt. It's this drum type windage deal they got on here, and you know, you need a tool like this to do it, which that's a whole nother story. we ended up, it's one of these Berska, I think it's made by Berska, and you see what I ended up having to do. I had to file this out just a little bit so that it would fit my post, and it's not PSA's fault, this is Berska, and I did have to file some material off to fit it, but I ended up taking a brass case, pressing it on here, cutting it off because it would spread this metal out on me. So anyway, had to get creative there. But this is the adjustment to push the drum from side to side. So when you get an AK, you probably want something like this. Maybe look for the reviews. I didn't. And the magazines. I've got this. You guys maybe could help me out. You guys could maybe help me out a little bit with these magazines. Maybe give me a little bit of an education. I have the PMag. This is the one without the metal, without the metal in the in your lockup plates there. But now this thing fits. It fits nice. Yeah, it fits real good in there. And I have a tap go, and it, you know, it's a little tight getting started. You know, the tap goes are, because they're a little wider right here. So you know, it might make you fumble a little bit with it, you know, to lock these up. And this Korean job, you know, I hear a little bit of talk about the you know, everybody tells you to get metal mags, and so I find this this metal mag for like, you know, 10, 12 bucks or whatever it was, and I get it. The darn thing looks great. It's, man, that's a solid looking mag, man. Look at them feed lips. I mean, that's double feed lip, double thickness right there. I mean, this thing is built like a tank. And you know, you can take it down, take the spring out, made in Korea. And I mean, it looks pretty darn tough. I mean, you can see I mean, it looks like it's all tack welded in, right, all the way up and down the rib there. So maybe somebody could educate me. Somebody's you know, I've shot quite a few pieces of ammo through this thing, and it worked great. Matter of fact, it's the easiest one to lock up in here. Now it does have some play in this one, but like I said, all these PSAKs aren't all the same. And the other one that I'm familiar with is much tighter than this. I like this one best myself because everything seems to be easy to lock up. Alright, like this one here don't have no play in it. Or, you know, you might not, you can probably feel something in there, but this PMag. And I know there's, you know, issues with the PMags and the AK and all that, but maybe I can get me a little education. But I really don't want to pay for Circle K's or US Palms. Those things are just too expensive. So maybe what I'd like to know is what's wrong with this magazine people talk about. I mean, it looks exactly like all your military surplus magazines. You just about can't tell the difference between one of those and this one. Maybe someone can educate me. But it's anti-tilt follower in there, and it's, you know, it's pretty good. That's an education that I could use. Now, one more thing that I want to tell you about. Well, a couple more things, just real quick. If you're a lefty like me, don't put up with getting pushed around by these AKs. All right, this right here, this slant brake. Somebody's gonna tell me, yeah, I knew that. And see this slant brake right here? To take these off, you know, most people know that deal with AKs. You just push this little detent pin in right here, and it's a left-handed thread, and you screw it off or on, and it, you know, you don't need any tools to take your muzzle brake or device off. Well, this is the slant brake that is famous on your AKs, which I really enjoy. I like them. I like it better now. But you can see on here, see these little detents right here and here. Well, it comes with one of these, and the reason it comes with one of those is because that wasn't even a bullet and I dropped it. Left-handed threads. So the reason I'm showing you this is because if you guys are a lefty, see these brakes are designed to be canted at about 45 degrees. See that cant in that? And it's just got that pin over the top of it on that detent, on that little detent. Alright, so what that's designed for is whenever, if you're a right-handed person, you know, it throws the rifle into your strong arm when you're pulling the trigger. So I'm a lefty, and it was, you know, it was throwing the rifle away from my strong arm. And to be honest with you, there was a little bit more movement than I like, you know, side to side. So I just took a Dremel, of course, because that's what engineers do, right? And with a little a drum file spinning around the size of that detent, and drilled one on that side, like that. So now I got this thing. I'm telling you right now, if you guys don't know, when I'm firing this thing, I don't get no side to side motion anymore. No more. I mean, this thing just is beautiful now. I mean, you know, if I wasn't really enjoying this thing before, after doing that, and if you don't know, you know, you don't even need to make an adjustment. Just, you know, you don't make a cut or nothing. Just turn that thing any direction you want and leave it there and fire it. But yep, that was the position for me right there. So if I want to get slapped around, I'll just turn it the other way like it was. But for right now, I'm just going to run this Cadillac. It's just shooting smooth. Alright, next thing. The next thing. Oh yeah, this trigger. Now I'm going to probably do a separate review on this trigger, because there's some things, like I said, about it. But I will show you this much, because if you're thinking about getting this rifle, you know, PSAK from Palmetto State Armory, whether you buy the rifle, you know, I chose this design. The folding stock is real nice too, that they have. They have different design stocks. So, now this is something that kind of freaked me out a little bit. All right, whenever I got this trigger here, you know, it comes with an auxiliary spring installation of auxiliary spring. All right, and I'm like, what in the world does it have an auxiliary spring for? Well, the auxiliary spring was added to this fine trigger just in case it was too light for you. And I'm like, man, I said, people pay a lot of money for light triggers. Why are they going to make it harder to pull instead of, well, I definitely used the auxiliary spring in this sucker. And come on, let's make sure we're clear again. No reason why we're not, just had it apart. But let's check this, let's check this trigger pull real quick. I'm going to tell you right now, this will blow your mind. Yeah, get this thing in focus here. Got light shining on it and stuff. I don't know if you can see it or not. There we go. 2.5 pounds. My goodness, let's do it again. Let's do it. Let's do it again. 2.5 pounds. 2.5 pounds. Let me do it again. Anybody scared yet? I'm just going to tell you, the reason I pulled it a few times, I just wanted to, that's almost 2 1/4 right there. Alright, well it's 2 pounds without the auxiliary spring. 2 pounds and maybe a hair less, not a hair more. You'll average a hair less, not a hair more. So that's the lightest trigger I've ever pulled in my life, just so you know. So anyhow, that worried me a little bit, but I'll tell you what, I kind of played around with it, beating on the rifle and seeing if I can get it to fire, and I kind of massaged the trigger a little bit. So, but now what I did do is the first time I was trying to make a precision shot, I can't remember if I just fired another rifle with a lot harder pull, but I got on target and I put my finger on the trigger. Now I was right on target, so, but it surprised the mess out of me. I pulled the trigger because I think I was dead on my target, and I was gonna go ahead and pull up my slack, and there wasn't none, because I'll show you. Alright, let's see, I'll get like this. Alright, watch the trigger. Alright, here's the reset. That's it. Reset. If you want to call that some movement, you can, but there's really no movement. I mean, none to speak of. So that's something that takes some getting used to. So if you can either get this trigger, but ALG makes some other triggers. They make one that is not the ALG. It's not the UL. It's the ALG trigger, but it's not the UL fire control group. The UL. Alright. So, but if you like light triggers, you're going to absolutely love this one. Alright, so that's kind of I just wanted to kind of give you a quick rundown of the Palmetto State Armory AK47, the PSAK. I even got this cheap old sling, and I'll probably replace this cheap old hook right here on it with something that I have laying around. But anyhow, I usually just use a roll of like strap, to make sling with. But that way I can make it how I want. But there it is right there. There's my powder coat job that I done. You guys can just all laugh yourself right on over with that one. I had to actually, it has a little sheen to my green, so I took some steel wool and just kind of patted over a little bit, and anyway, I was having some fun. I was getting a little carried away, but man, I love this thing. I never thought that I would, even after I first got it, it was exciting. You know what I'm talking about. But man, after getting a little bit of experience, putting a little TLC into it, getting some range time, well, you seen me shooting. I was really having fun. I wasn't putting on a show and acting. I was really enjoying that. So, like I said, I'm going to probably do, there's a little bit about this trigger that people might want to know. And I'll probably do a separate review. That way I can pull it out of there and kind of show some stuff about it. And the next thing is, I got in touch with Arsenal molds, and you know, so I'm gonna try to get a mold that I can make some cast lead bullets for this one, double with my 300 blackout. And you know, for a spoiler alert, you know, I have something in the works for a heavy 223 bullet as well, working with Arsenal molds. So just kind of throwing that out there for something to look forward to. Got some cool stuff in store. Anyway, you guys, thank you very much. I will see you in the next video.